All right. Welcome everybody to Cal 2, right? Cal 2. My name is Robert Di Giovanni. And you may or may not be aware that this class was supposed to be in the new building, right? And I said no, put it in this building. And the reason why is because I want to be able to record, but I want to be able to project. I want to be able to write on my projection, and the other building doesn't allow for that. So one thing I have to do is move the projector a little bit down. I'm going to get a ladder and just kind of reposition it so that this is further down. But that's why we're here in this room. If you're wondering why I moved the class, that's why. So yeah, so let's get into the syllabus and stuff. I'm going to go quickly through this. I don't want to spend too much time. I want to make sure you understand the requirements of the course. So everybody can get in here? Everyone knows how to get in Canvas? Is good with that? Okay. What you have on your desk, I've already provided you the schedule. Does everyone see that? Everyone should have a copy of the schedule. It shows the day by day, what we're intending on doing, and then the homework assignments, when the exams are, when the final is, all that good stuff, right? This is tentative, right? Always subject to change, depends on how things go in here. And then I've also provided you formulas. Those are the formulas you're allowed to have on your exams. Those are not the only formulas you're allowed to have. There are others, but I printed you at least those. Those are the ones that come directly from the book. So you've got that at least to start. So we are basing, everything in this class is based off this book by James Stewart called Essential Calculus. This is like 9 or 10-year-old book, right? You do not have to buy the book. You click here to ebook, WebAssign access. You should be able to access the book electronically. Has anyone done that yet? I think it opened last night. Has anyone tried it or no?
Oh yeah, no, I did a couple days ago.
Yeah. Nobody has yet?
No, not yet.
Not yet? Yeah. But it hasn't let you in yet? No?
Let me in.
To the book?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Ago, yeah.
Okay, good. Very good then. So you should be able to get to the book. So when you see that schedule and it has, homework problems on it, what you do is you go to the ebook, you go to the exercises for that section, and the numbers there, you do those numbers, all right? All the homework that you do paper and pencil, right? You're not going to do anything on WebAssign and submit homework online, none of that. Everything's paper and pencil. And the main reason for that is that it's not collected for a grade. And that's because I've already provided all the solutions, most of the solutions, 95% of the problems that I've asked you to do have been worked out on video by me. So it's, that's a reference there for you. So if you're ever at home trying to figure out how to do homework, I don't know why I talk about this in orientation first day, and then it's like halfway through the semester a student will be like, I didn't know you had homework solution videos. I'm like, how did you not know that? I just talked about it the first day. So I'm going to say it again. When you're doing your homework, if you get stuck, you go there, go to the section, and it's me standing up there working out those problems, right? Little disclaimer, there might be some little algebra errors in there. I'm aware of them. Years ago, these are old, 6 years old, these videos. YouTube used to let me put these little bubbles that would pop up and be like, hey, hello, there's a mistake right there. And I did all my videos, fixed all the mistakes, and then they took all those bubbles away. And I was like, shit, I'm not gonna go back and redo all that and redo the video. So now it is what it is. So if you see a mistake, it's an obvious mistake. Okay, it's an obvious mistake. It's a good way to kind of double check that you're on the right track. All right? Okay, so back to our class. You got the ebook access, class lecture videos, that camera, right? It's recording. And barring any technology glitches, like I forget to turn on my mic, or I leave it on mute, or I forget to hit record, barring any of that, you should expect that those videos will be uploaded to YouTube today sometime, probably after this class, a couple hours from now. So you can always go back and watch those, all right? That's not a substitute for being in class, but it's, you can pay a little more attention to what I'm saying, what we're doing. Always know you can go back and watch it if you need to, all right? So you got that. You've got the schedule, which you have in your hands, files. So if you click on files here, like I said, you have the formulas you can bring to the exams, but that's not the only ones, all right? So the one I provided to you today, sorry if it's hard to read this in the back, I provided you that one, but you're actually allowed to have all of these, all right? I didn't print them all for you, sorry. All right, so you'll need to print those out and have those available for reference, all right? First, this one's 1 page, this is 1 page, this is 1 page, this is 1 page. Yeah, they're all 1 pages, so, not a ton of stuff, but it's up to you to get those printed and have them. Questions? All right, let's get to the syllabus. I'm not going to go through this like in fine-tooth comb. Main thing is my office hours. So I'm here Monday through Friday, but I'm only available on Tuesday, Thursday. That's when our class is, right? Tuesday, Thursday, I'm available from 8:30 to 9, and I think that's going to be in this room because I teach a class here 9 a.m. right before this one. And so my plan is to be here by 8, come up here at 8:30, have 30 minutes of office hours, teach my Cal 1 class, and then not even leave, just stay here, teach my Cal 2 class, and then I go down to my office. After this class, I'll go right down to my office, and if you follow me down there, you can get help. Just let me sit down and defrag for a minute because I will have been talking since 9 a.m. pretty much. So give me a little bit of time, and then I go for 2 hours after this class I'm available. And those are open office hours, right? You just come on in and you get help, right? Also, Monday, Wednesday, I'm available from 8:30 to 11. Pretty much I'm not here after 3. Not available after 3 o'clock. Now, I can always make an appointment if you need to. Something, we need to sit down and talk, we can do appointments, all right? All right, now, in terms of communication, you email everything through here, right? Hey, I'm going to miss class, got sick, flat tire, blah, blah, blah. That's fine. Everything's official through here. But if you're working on a problem, you need help, something else, something math related, you feel like you're stuck, you don't have anyone to help you, that's my cell phone number. I provide that to all my students, so all I'm asking is that you either call me or text me, send me a picture of the problem you're working on. Okay, I need to see the problem because if I'm at HEB and you're asking me about number 4 on the homework, I don't know what number 4 is, right? So, text me a picture of the problem, text me any work you've done up to that point, and then what your question is, and I'll help you out as best I can. Remember though, with the texting, you know how it is, right? You're driving down the road, you get a text, and then you forget about it, right? So sometimes that happens to me too. So, if I don't respond within a couple hours, just say, hey, it's me again, let me know. Questions on that? All right, department information, if you need to go to the math department, it's all there. The materials I already said, you don't need to buy anything. The ebook is there, but if you want to buy the book, you can probably get it dirt cheap because it's used and it's 8 or 9 years old. There's the ISBN if you're interested in getting a copy of the book. That book would contain Cal 1, 2, and 3 in it, so it's the whole calculus sequence. As far as required materials, you need to have a scientific calculator or a graphing calculator, okay? If you don't have a graphing calculator, the math lab right across the way, 308, will check out a graphing calculator to you all semester long. You just have to go over there and check it out. You are not allowed to have a TI-89 or a TI-Nspire CAS. Those are the ones that are not allowed. If you're not sure if you have that, I can see you looking over there. Do you have an Nspire?
I have a T184.
84 is fine. Yeah, 84 is fine. Yes?
Well, why are we allowed to use other graphing calculators?
The TI-89 and the TI-Nspire CAS have what's called a computer algebra system. So it will do factoring, it'll take derivatives, it'll do antiderivatives, it'll do...
All the work for us.
It'll do all the work for you, yes. Now most students that own those don't even know that their calculator can do it, but you're not allowed to use those on any standardized tests at universities and stuff like that, so may as well get used to it now. If you have any questions about what you have and what's allowed, let me know. Can't use your phone on a test, all right? All right, description of the course. I'm not going to go through this. You can read this. You really are probably interested about your grade. Good news, bad news, I don't know. Everything, your entire grade is pretty much assessment. Like, there's no free points. There's no like, oh, I showed up, I got 10 points for being there. There's no homework that he provided me solutions to. That's 10% of my grade. Everything is some sort of assessment. So it's quizzes and participation, 15%. When I say participation, what I mean is I might give a quiz where it's like, man, there's only like 10 people here. The quiz today is that you're here. Like if I start seeing a lot of people missing class, I'll just give a quiz for attendance. That's about it. Everything else would be some other form of a quiz. And I'll talk about quizzes in a second. So you have your quizzes, 15%. Exam 1, 15%. Exam 2, 23%. Exam 3, 23%. Exam 4, 24%. It's weird percentages, but the reason exam 1 is worth less than the others is exam 1 is the easiest exam out of all the exams. So in terms of like scope of the course and difficulty, like this is not that much on that first exam. So you want to do well on that first exam because it's the one to kind of get your feet set in the class. All right. If you struggle on exam 1, we're in for a long semester. All right. Questions? Yes.
Homework?
No part of your grade is homework. Yeah, that's why the videos are there, right? So that means you shouldn't do your homework, probably. Yeah, just don't do your homework this semester. See how that goes. Yeah, I shouldn't have to tell you in Cal 2, do your homework, right? I mean, it should be automatic that you know that. Should it be? Yes.
Is there, I know you said the homework is paper and pencil.
Yep.
I forget what it's called, I'm sorry.
WebAssign?
Yeah, is the WebAssign like enabled?
For you to do the problems? No.
Okay.
No. You can check the answers on the WebAssign will allow you to check the answers for odds. That's about it, but it's not going to give you any like links to like.
Each chapter or each section.
Yeah. The problem is the problems don't line up exactly the way I assign them. I can, if you really want it, I can work something out. Yeah. Attendance, you need to be here, right? You get 4 free absences. I won't ask questions, right? You're just not here, all right? You get 4 of them. After that, your grade is pretty much in my hands, right? I can either withdraw you from the class or I can fail you after that 4th absence. So that accounts for like life happening, right? These things happen, right? I get it. You get 4. You get 2 weeks of free misses. Now I wouldn't miss if I were you, but Exam policy, exams will be paper and pencil. I am very, very harsh about integrity. So in terms of you doing your own work, you're not sitting there doing your phone trying to get answers off, Symbolab or whatever all those apps are in the middle of the test. Right, so I will follow the Alamo College's policy when it comes to academic integrity issues, all right? Quizzes can come in the form anything, right? So 15% of your grade is quizzes. They can be, everyone take out a piece of paper, clear out your desk. Here's a problem, everyone do it. Here's a group quiz. Hey, here's a quiz, you're allowed to use your homework. That's something I didn't say, I haven't gotten homework. Okay, I'll get it. So quizzes, I might allow you might be open note where you can use your notes or homework. It could be a take-home quiz. It could be in any format. And then what I'll do is just add up all, or take the average of all those quizzes at the end. If we have a lot of them, like over 8 or 9 of them, I'll drop 1, maybe 2, depends. I forgot to say on exams, there's no makeups, there's no test corrections to improve your grade, right? It is what it is. You need to come, be prepared for that test that day. This is about getting good with the stress, right, of having a lot of your grade determined by, an hour and 40 minutes sitting here. That's college. You've got to be ready for that sort of stress. All right, behavior policy. Please keep your phones away during class. If there's something important you need to take care of, phone call, text message, whatever, got to go watch a TikTok video, just get out of the room, go in the hallway, do it, come back. Don't do it in class. It will cost you an absence. I'll ask you to leave, and I'll take 10 points off your next test. 10% off your next test. So it's a huge penalty. I just don't want people on phones. I walk through the halls here and I see college students on their phones. It blows my mind that a professor would allow that in his room, or in their room, you know what I mean? But that's just me, I'm old school. No distractions, hour and 40 minutes. I want you focused on this, all right? If I'm expecting an important phone call or something like that, I will let you all know. You know, hey, I've got something important. My phone might vibrate. You know, I'm going to step out. I want you to show me the same respect that I would show you. If you need to step out, all right? Homework, I already said, homework is pretty much optional, but you better do it. Paper and pencil, bring it with you every day because it could help you. It could help you on a quiz. I might let you use it, right? So if you don't have it, I think I say here, expect you to bring all your homework to class every day. It's just, that would benefit you to have it. Talk about the video solutions. I talk about the errors. All right, this is a new policy if you've had me before. Pens and pencils. All right, you are only allowed to use pens on quizzes and exams. I don't care what you do at home with homework, but for quizzes and exams, pens are only allowed if you're promising you're not going to make any mistakes. All right? Flawless work. So if you want to paint yourself into a corner, you know what I mean? Don't use a pen, use a pencil. All right? Because neatness counts to me. When I take a test in and it's pen and it's scratched out everywhere, it's just like, I'm already like flustered, you know? I don't expect your math to be perfect. I know students, some of my best students don't have great handwriting, but it's something that you can work on. Okay, if you're one of those people who's like, yeah, but my handwriting's always sucked. That can change. You have to make a concerted effort to make that change. My handwriting used to look like chicken scratch, you know, and then I slowly started to tighten things up and start to pay attention. You're communicating, right? You're trying to communicate with somebody, me, right, with your work. I need to be able to read it. Think about colleagues, you move on, you know, you're an engineer, you're trying to share ideas, scratch some ideas down on a piece of paper, hand them over, they're like, what the fuck? They can't read any of your writing, right? Like, you need to be able to communicate, right? So work on it, okay? It's always a work in progress thing. Tutoring, please try and come to me as Cal 2. There are tutors who can tutor Cal 2, but not all tutors can tutor Cal 2. So try and come to me first. If not, go to the tutoring labs, but go to the lab and ask them, who are the Cal 2 tutors? Figure out who they are, all right? Form groups, work outside of class, all right? Questions? Yes?
The ebook.
Yes.
You can do homework assignments off the ebook. Like what platform is that?
No, you're just reading the problems out of the book.
Oh.
You're just bringing up the ebook, and then for each section it has exercise. I'll show it to you. Yeah, I'm not asking you to submit anything online and put your answers into a computer system. Where am I going? What was the other question?
I know you said about pens, but as far as taking notes, can we use pen?
Yeah, I don't. It's what you turn into me is what I'm concerned about. Like if I say, hey everyone, we're going to take a quiz, break out the pencil. Unless you're going to do perfect work.
No, I use pencil.
Okay. Yeah.
And if we need to talk to DSS and stuff like that about test accommodations, we can talk to you in office hours.
Yeah, but that all has to be done quickly.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's supposed to be done like first day or week. Yeah, exactly. Because it takes a while for that to get like down the pipeline to me. Okay, so here's the ebook, right? So we're going to start, I think, 3.5. So here's chapter 3. And there's a little tab here for here's the table of contents for chapter 3. And at the end of each section is the exercises. So I think 3.5 is your first exercise set. So you go here, and then whatever I assigned off that schedule, here are the problems. And you can see every odd problem has an answer, right? So, yeah? Understand? You're just doing old school. We're doing paper, pencil. You're doing your homework, right?
Yeah. And you can buy the ebook off of Ed Cengage, I guess.
No, you're not buying anything. You're going to go to this homepage. You're going to you're clicking on this right here. And then it says click here first. That will register you. There's no payment. It's not free. It's paid in the tuition. All right? And then you'll have immediate access to the ebook. That's not free, right? You just don't have to pay out of pocket. It's already paid for in the tuition. And every semester, see, this book you buy used for probably, I don't know, I'm guessing you probably get this for like $15, $20. But you're getting charged in tuition probably close to $100 every semester. If you take Cal 1 and Cal 2, you're paying twice. We're not getting into it. All right, back to, I think that was it with the syllabus. Let me see, hold on. Try not to eat more. Yeah, okay, the rest of it you can look at yourself. That's, oh, the SOBI statement. Okay, I didn't talk about that. Weird, you know, like you hear someone talking some crazy shit and you're like, you know, say something, you see something, say something, right? Weird stuff going on. You know what I mean? Active shooter situation, right? Stuff like that. We need to be careful. This is an exit point, even though we're on the 3rd floor. This window does go to an awning, so that is a place we could go out. We could breach this window and go out and then go around the awning. You would probably have to jump off 1 story at some point, but it's not 3 stories down to concrete. It is survivable out that way. Yes. What's that?
Do you have a glass breaker?
I'm pretty sure we'd be able to get through there.
I have one.
Yeah. You have one? Yeah. Yeah. Chair, we'll throw somebody through there. I'm not sure who's going, but yeah, I think, you know, right? So, okay. All right. So that's it for the syllabus. Any questions before I get into this? Oh, I forgot in files to mention the notes. Okay, so course notes right here. So every section I go through, like today I'm going to start with 3.5. These notes are all like organized and, you know, there's definitions, theorems, and all this stuff. It's a little too big right here. Examples, things like that. All of these notes are available to you in this folder in a PDF format. So they're static. You could print them out. I don't recommend you print them out. I just want you to know they're there. If I put up a definition up here, don't be like, you don't have to copy the definition down. You can go back and look at this, all right? So it's all there for you. And there's also other things in here that I'll be printing out and giving to you later. They're in here already, but I will hand them to you later, certain things. So just be aware of that. All right. So what are your thoughts on Cal 2? What have you heard? What have you?
This is going to be the hardest class of my career.
Hardest class of your career? What's your major?
It used to be engineering.
It's not anymore? What, do you change? Do you know what you changed to?
Probably like public administration
Okay.
or computer information systems.
Okay. So y'all heard it's harder than Cal 1?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like twice as hard.
Twice as hard? Twice? So it's been quantified, huh?
Oh, I've taken it like 4 times.
Yeah? Oh, yeah, okay.
I had some bad luck.
Okay. Well, I'm glad at least you are comfortable saying that. Some people don't want to admit that they've had to take it. Some of my best Cal 1 students, I had one Cal 1 student had to take it 3 times. This student got an A in Cal 1, had to take Cal 2 3 times. So I'm not trying to, like, you know, scare you. But even if you did well in Cal 1 and Cal 1 was like, hey, you know, all I've ever had to do in math is just show up and I'm okay. Even if you're that student, this course will most likely change that. It'll be different. It's very difficult. I've yet to meet a student who just naturally, Cal 2 is just like this natural thing that they just see it, right? You have to work for it. It's something that requires effort in order to get to that point where you have comfort with it. Yes?
Is much memorization as they say it is?
It's not memorization. There are things you have to memorize, but it's not memorization. To me, it really comes down to the big prerequisite for this class is work ethic, like work ethic. And you've got to be ready to fail, like get it wrong. You're going to get it wrong a lot more times than you get it right. And then eventually you get to the point where you start getting it right more than you get it wrong. Yes?
It's kind of like off topic, but
That's right.
the reference sheet, are we
Yeah.
able to use this like on quizzes or exams?
Yes. Yep. Everything I showed you in that formula, there was a folder that said what things you can have on exams. All of those you can use. That I provided you at least with some of them.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
My personal thing is that I think it's just as long as you take like an hour out of your day, maybe even at least an hour out of your day to do the homework every day, you'll be fine.
Every day. That's the thing, though. You can't. And I told my Cal 1 class this earlier. This is not the kind of class where you can just like, hey, Sundays are my Cal 2 study days. Like, you can't do that. There's got to be a little bit, even if it's 15 minutes, 20 minutes, a little bit each day. Everybody here has a plate that they've filled with whatever, right? You could be taking 15 hours, working 30 hours a week. You've got 3 kids. You're a single parent. Like, your plate, you decide what you put on that plate, right? For me, my expectation is that you have enough time. If you don't have enough time because you've made that life for yourself, that's your only option, you have to, how do I say? There's a reason why you can't earn a college degree in 1 year, right? There's a reason why. For the same reason you can't drink out of a fire hydrant, right? You're going to go get a sip of water. You don't drink out of a fire hydrant. It'll blow your face off, right? Like, there's only so much you can take in at one time. Cal 2 is one of those things where you have to have the time to be able to absorb the material. Yes?
So when a lot of people said it was memory, what they really mean is is a lot of this intuition, near the end of Cal 1, it became a lot of recognizing certain situations that you've been in?
I have a comment on that.
You want to comment? Yeah, sure.
So if you do the problems enough, you'll start kind of recognizing patterns like, oh, this equation equals a logarithmic graph and it's going to approach infinitely by 0, or it's going to approach infinitely by 2. And so that does half the work in your own head, So it's not necessarily memorization, but practice makes perfect. There was a point when I last failed in 2018 where I was taking the test and I could only do 2 questions because we're going through some stuff, so I didn't do any of the homework. But all the other students around me did 20 questions in the same 3-hour span, and I did 2.
Yeah.
So it's like your brain starts doing the work for you because you're like, oh, this is approach infinitely by 2, approach infinitely by 0, blah 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 blah. Let's you skip ahead. It's not memorization, but it's really just practice.
Sir, do you have a?
Yeah, this is my second go for
Okay.
Part 2. I just took it last semester, and that was the problem that I ran into is I apparently lack that intuition for a lot of problems. It doesn't jump off the page.
Yeah.
Because you're right, it's not memorization, it's just what technique for integration would you use here, and I don't know. It's
Yeah.
the thing with series.
It's one of those things that it's an intuition, but the intuition comes with enough practice where you see, it's like you stand and you've got all these different paths. Okay, you have all these different paths, and it's not like Cal 1 where it's like product rule, quotient rule, chain rule, right? It's very, very easy to kind of choose the path. Here, the paths, you choose one, and once you commit to it, that could be 30 minutes, and then you realize, shit, I'm on the wrong path. And then you start over, and you're like, okay, go this way. But you get better at choosing the path with more practice and more crumbling up paper. I mean that figuratively.
No, I mean that literally.
Literally. I don't recommend you ever crumble up paper because it's good to see your mistakes. Like, if you do a problem and you do it wrong 3 times, it's good to keep those copies with the correct way so that you can go back and review and be like, okay, here's the right way, I did it. You look at the problem, you're going like, I'm going to try this, but wait a minute, hold on, I tried it that way and it didn't work. Like, you know what I mean? Like, don't ever crumble and throw. I have another question over here. I thought I saw a hand.
I was just going to ask, do we learn if it's called Fourier series or Laplace transforms here?
No, that is not a topic for this class. Unfortunately, it's not. But it is an extension of series that will be covered in engineering courses. Yeah. It's just a certain type of series. And then, like the Fourier series is a certain type of series. And then the transform is something that we can do with that. I wish it were part of this class, but it's not. It's not in the description of the course. If you read the state whatever description. What was the other? I thought I saw a hand, no? Okay. let me go. This is this what the state says Cal 2 is, right? State of Texas. Right here. This is description. Differentiation, integration of transcendental functions, parametric equations, polar coordinates, techniques of integration, sequences and series, and improper integrals. So it's very vague, but there's nothing explicitly here about Fourier series. And the book doesn't talk about it either. The book has nothing, it says nothing about it. Okay.
What's the definition of intuition?
I don't
How
know.
would you describe that?
I don't know. I'm not sure. We could look it up, but knowing what to do when you see it, right? It's just an instinct. Intuition's hard to teach, but I will tell you this. Intuition is hard to have in Cal 2 when your Cal 1 is weak. Like if you're not comfortable with product rule, quotient rule, chain rule, if that was something that was uncomfortable for you in Cal 1, it's very difficult for you to see it, because we're going to be doing basically everything we did in Cal 1, we're going to be trying to do it backwards. We're going to be doing anti-derivatives. So we're going to try and undo chain rule, undo product rule, undo quotient rule. It's hard to see it if you don't remember how to do a product rule, right? For example, let me see if anyone can. That's the derivative of something. I'm telling you that's the derivative of something, okay? What's that the derivative of?
X squared sine x plus 1/3 x cubed.
Wait, x squared sine x. You're done. That's it.
Is it? Okay, yeah.
Why? What's the derivative of this?
2x sine x.
Product rule, right?
Yeah.
So derivative of that is
2x.
times this plus that times derivative of that. That's it, right? So if you're looking at this and you're trying to get back to this, right? If you don't understand product rule, how are you going to get from here back to here, right? You know what I mean? Now, I think this is a stretch. You don't need to see that much, okay? But you do need to understand the mechanics of the product rule, right? Derivative of the first one times the second plus, or else if you don't have that, then it's going to be real challenging. Okay, look, I'm not trying to discourage you, all right? I want to be honest with you about the course. It's going to require work. It's going to require a lot of work from you. If you don't put in the work, you can't expect to get a good result, all right? No matter how good you've been in the past, this class is going to require it. You can do it, though. It's possible to do this course. Obviously, people get through Cal 2, all right? But you got to commit yourself to the class. Form study groups, work outside of class. I can't force you to do that. My most successful students in Cal 2 have been students that work together, come to my office, ask for help. I know where they are in the class. I can tell. They can come in, take a test, and